When you are approaching your projects like voiceover work, and we recently saw you at the 2019 VMAs, and
Yes, you
you're
did.
going back, and you're basically like muscle memory for you, right? You're like, okay, this is home for me. So when you're reapproaching that, and you're just like, these are my passions. How was that experience like for you, stepping back and learning? Well, you know it's like muscle memory for you, but what was it like stepping back into that moment and being,
So two things, because you said muscle memory, and that's a great point.
Mm-hmm.
But if in the previous experiences, your nervous system was overwhelmed and shocked by the adrenaline rush, like I used to be when I was touring with people or touring my own music, then that kind of anxiety can be triggered as well. I decided this round that wasn't going to be my approach. And so Missy's team texted me the day before, of all times. I'm like, you could have given me a little more heads up before I'm doing a solo.
Oh, wow. The day before
on
the show?
VMAs. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So you had a short, turnaround.
I rehearsed once. And I messed up in rehearsal. And I was like, hi-hat, her choreographer, I was like, please just know I'm going to show up for you. You will not regret this. I'm here for the team. Like, I love Missy. And obviously, all credit goes to her, too. It was her Vangard, not my performance. But I wanted to make sure I did the most with it. So instead of letting that kind of hyper-vigilant Alyson kick in from my younger years, I said, okay, I'm going to do this meditation where I look at every one of the crew members who's helped making this show possible. I'm going to look at everyone in the audience. I'm going to look at all the materials that are going into building these sets. I'm going to look at Missy, and I'm going to say, I am you. I am that. We are one. And I'm just playing one role today out of all the roles we're playing to co-create this moment. And that took away so much pressure. There was no hierarchy. There was no illusion of separation between humans anymore. And that freed me to be able to actually, even though my heart was racing right before I went on, I mean, it jumped up, it spiked for sure, but I stayed grounded enough that I can recall that moment forever. And I couldn't do that in earlier shows. So as much of it as it was an outward celebration that went viral and was amazing, collectively, it also was a moment of internal growth for me to be like, you stayed you. In a moment where you could have really lost yourself, just been swept into the ocean of doing a solo. I also I haven't done those moves in 17 years. For real, 17 years.
Wow. And so having to step back into that and seeing all these eyes are now on you, right? Last time you were in the whirlwind of these things where you're younger, you weren't as, growth, right? You've grown so much since that time, right?
Yeah.
And so when you now have all these eyes looking at you, everyone's like, oh my gosh, Alyson Stoner, you're on Ellen's show.
Yeah.
What was that experience like, stepping back into, oh my gosh, I'm in the spotlight? How did you navigate that newfound, experience?
So two things again. I recognize that I have to reintroduce myself. Even though I've been learning and growing, even though I've, since the Missy video, been on 200 film sets and shows, a lot of people aren't aware of that work. So I have to be patient in the reintroduction process and meet people where they're at. But also, I had mixed feelings, if I'm being totally transparent, because it was Missy's moment. It wasn't mine. And the fact that I had the press on me, I wanted to make sure I received that with gratitude, but also navigated it respectfully, knowing this is about Missy. I'm just the finger pointing to the moon. Missy is the moon, and it's her Vangard, not mine. Thankfully, she was kind enough and humble enough to include me in her performance. So it was delicate, because also the interviews get cut down, and so even if you were trying to give her credit, they just want certain blurbs, and that's okay, it's not in my control. But even as a team, we internally spoke about which opportunities we would and would not take, to make sure that everything led back to gratitude for Missy.